John 20, verse 24. I really believe I got a word for you. It's not going to take long to get there either. Worship team, do not go far. John 20, 24. Now Thomas, also known as Didymus, one of the 12, was not with the disciples when Jesus came. So the other disciples told him, "We have seen the Lord." Of course, this was after his death and burial and resurrection. But he said to them, "Unless I see the nail marks in his hands, and put my finger where the nails were, and put my hand into his side, I will not believe." You know, he gets a bad rap. He's called Doubting Thomas. Well, he was the only one that wasn't there. If Peter wasn't there, it'd have been Doubting Peter, Doubting John. I wasn't there, it'd probably been Doubting Richie. Okay? He said, "Unless I see the nail marks in his hands, my finger where the nails were, and put my hand in his side, I will not believe." A week later, his disciples were in the house again, and Thomas was with them. Though the doors were locked, I love this, Jesus came and stood among them and said, "Peace." Can you see that? He walked through the sheetrock, through the wall. And the first thing he says is peace. Interesting. He can get anywhere, anytime. He can get to any problem you have this morning. And he can speak peace to it. That's not my sermon, but I may build one there. Then he said to Thomas, "Put your finger here. See my hands? Reach out your hand and put it into my side. Stop doubting and believe." Father, the next few minutes I'm going to preach your word, the word that you have given me. And God, I pray as we would lean in, we've shown up, and I pray we'd grow up and be everything you've called us to be. Fix what needs to be fixed. Reverse curses and bind strongholds and turn everything around in the next 20 minutes. You can do it, God. We trust you in Jesus' name. Amen. Amen. You may be seated. My body is full of scars. Scars. Some from surgeries I had. Some from injuries. Some from poor decisions. I remember I was a freshman in high school when I was playing tackle football with some friends, and I got tackled right into a tree. Busted my head open. Had to go get it sewn up. So now if I wear my hair too short, some of you will see I got all kind of, that's not the only thing. I got scars from back there for other things that I won't talk about in here. Scars when I was a baby, I had stomach surgery. And then I had a hernia surgery. Scars, again, my freshman year in high school, actually my 8th grade, 9th grade, that summer I slid into a base playing baseball and broke my foot in summer ball but didn't realize it. And so I played all the way through freshman year football with my foot broken. I knew it hurt, but so like we were in the second or third, the last game of the season, last week of the season. I went to the doctor and they said, "Yeah, you got a chip bone there, but it's no big deal. You can finish the season. You've went this far, and then we can take it out over fall break, Thanksgiving break. You only miss a couple days." I went into surgery. Some of you know the story. I got staph infection in that surgery. It was outpatient, so I went home that night. My fever skyrocketed. You always have a fever after surgery, but it was unusually high. They took me back the next day. They said it was infected, and they had to get it out as soon as possible, so they had me another surgery. They didn't get it at all, but they kept me in the hospital, so the next day or two, I had another surgery, and this time they wanted to make sure they got it all, so they left it open for a week. And cleaned it. Very painful. And then within 1 week, I had my 4th surgery. And I got scars all over my foot to prove it. I was in an intense fellowship with somebody one time and broke my nose. Got a scar there. I was playing in a flag football tournament in Murfreesboro, Tennessee, and went for a quarterback's flag, and it was flag, not tackle. He gives me an elbow and just bust it wide open. And my claim to fame, though, is I actually duct taped it up. I should have brought the picture. I got a picture. My buddy's dad. I said, "You got duct tape?" And I played 3 more games and then went to the hospital there. And it didn't hurt until I saw it. I'm telling you, it was cold. It was wet and rainy. And it didn't hurt. And then I saw it. And me and Leanne were just started dating. And I said, "You might want to leave," because I knew I was going to say some bad words. Notice in our reading, Jesus proved to Thomas who he was and that he was for real by showing him his scars. And the way we prove to others that we're for real is not we've been hurt and we have a cut and it's still bleeding. We prove to others that we're the real deal when they see our scars, that we've been through something, but we've been through it. And we've healed from it. And it's no longer a cut or a scab, but now it's a scar. Are you with me? I think we impress people with our successes, but we impact people with our scars, with our weaknesses. Not our successes, not our strengths. It's in our weakness that Jesus is made strong in our lives. Scars remind us where we come from. Thank God for scars. It keeps us from getting haughty and proud and thinking that we're here because of good decisions. The Apostle Paul said, "Lest I become conceited." There was a thorn in my flesh. Some people think it was his mother-in-law. I'm not sure. I don't think so. That's not what I think. I got a great mother-in-law. That's not what I think. But scars remind us of where we came. But scars also remind us of God's unwavering faithfulness. Scars elevate us. If you ever felt a scar, all of my scars, you feel it across the surface of your skin and you feel that little bump. That's symbolic. The scars elevate us above status quo. It makes you a little better if you have a scar. I can identify with your marriage if I have scars in my marriage. I can identify with your finances and financial struggles. If I don't have any scars there, I can't help you. But if I have scars, are you hearing what I'm saying this morning? Scars remind us, they elevate us. Scars teach us valuable lessons. Valuable lessons. My foot, my 4 surgeries on my foot, my 4 scars, or my 3 scars on my foot. I have 3 scars here from a PICC line they had to put that went straight to my heart whenever I was going through all that. And you know what that reminds me of? God's a healer. Because I wasn't supposed to come out of that alive. At best, I was going to come out of that with some amputation. It reminds me God's a healer. You know what my scar on my nose reminds me? Don't get smart with the wrong person. Scars can teach you if you'll lean in and listen. I even thought about the scar at Murfreesboro, the duct tape. Back then I was tough. I've gotten soft since then. But, it reminds me that I can do all things. I can do more than we think. Scars teach us. They remind us, they elevate us, they teach us. But watch this. Scars qualify you. God uses our bruises. It's not in spite of our scar. It's because of our scar that God says, now I can use you. I want to Say, Jesus can turn your scars into stars. He really can. Isaiah 53 says, I quoted it earlier, he was wounded for our transgressions. He was bruised for our iniquity. Notice, he was wounded, his scar, wounded for our our star. He was bruised, scar, for our iniquity, star. The chastisement, scar, that brought us peace, star, was upon him. And by his stripes, scar, we are healed, star. See, Jesus wants to turn your scars this morning into stars. What are stars? Stars bring light in the night. And when we can get to a place that we allow Jesus to turn our scars into stars, now we can bring light to others that have scars that are walking through their night season. God doesn't use us in spite of our scars, but because of them. I'll prove it to you. If you're taking notes, you can write this down. Isaiah 48:10. I have chosen thee in the furnace of affliction. See, that's how God chooses if he's going to use you. Do they have scars? Have they been through anything? That's how I'll use them. He looks right into your furnace, right into your affliction, and says, okay, this is not going to turn out like they think it's going to. What are they going to do in the furnace? What does Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego do in the furnace? They just kept walking around in the fire. Now, they weren't going anywhere. They were walking in circles, but sometimes that don't matter. You just got to keep walking in the fire. You got to keep trusting. You got to keep believing. When you're in the furnace of affliction, notice he said, I have chosen thee, which means God sees you right in your affliction. If you have scars this morning, you're in great company. Arguably the greatest king of Israel, King David, said, I was wounded in the house of my friends. He's talking about the church. He had scars in church. He had church hurt. And then Paul, the apostle Paul, was shipwrecked, was beaten, was in prison, thorn in the flesh, but he wrote half the New Testament. Jesus had scars, his hands, his feet, his side, his head, the crown of thorns, 39 stripes for our healing. When he read the scrolls and came in Luke 4, he opened the scrolls and he began to prophetically declare, the Spirit of the Sovereign Lord is on me because he's anointed me to preach good news to the poor. And then he closes it. He says, today the scripture is fulfilled. He's in the temple. You know what happened? They didn't celebrate and give him a big offering. They ran him out of the temple, out of the church, blaspheming. You know where he was 6 days later? In church. He knew church hurt too. He had scars. Paul had scars. David had scars. Jesus, you're in good company this morning if you have scars. A lot of times we think something or someone is devalued because of their scars. But can you imagine if I just threw my whole body out because of a few scars? And I said, well, life's not worth living. Just give up on my whole body because I got a few scars. No, my scars bring greater value to me. And they do you as well. But watch this. They do others as well. And if every time you get close to somebody, you find out that they're not perfect, oh, they got scars, and that devalues them in your eyes, please don't get close to me. The closer we get, nobody would know the scar on my nose until I got close to Marvin. He'd say, oh, yeah, somebody did pop you right there. Yeah, I see that now. I see that now. Anytime you get close to somebody, you find out they got scars. The church, the capital C church, the church in general has scars. I'm not talking about free life. I'm talking about you. You, the church. We're flawed people, y'all. I don't know if they got. We judge here. Let's not explain it away or excuse it away. Let's just be honest. We judge each other. I didn't say we should. We condemn each other. We talk ugly about each other. I don't know if I like this church. The other one does too. Just get close enough. I promise you. The other one does too. We don't always get it right. We offend one another. We hurt one another. We judge one another. Why? Because we're flawed. We're flawed. Preachers fail. I'm the capital C church with moral failures, unthinkable, disgusting things. That's why I don't go to church and I don't worship a preacher. And you better not either. I don't go for them, I go for him. I worship Jesus. Well, I don't know if I like that song. Great, we're not singing it for you. We're singing it for him. Well, I don't know if I like that preacher. Well, I don't know if I like me half the time either. Thank God you're not worth. Don't put me on a pedestal. Put me on your prayer list, not your pedestal. I'm flawed just like you. I got scars. I got pain. I got things that I've been through just like you. I want to say this country has scars. Let's not explain it away. Let's not sweep it away. We have external scars. We have wars that we didn't ask for. The British, Pearl Harbor, the attack, 9/11. We have scars from external attacks from an enemy, from the out. But we also have internal attacks. We have racism. We have segregation. Well, we don't anymore. Oh, yeah, we do. Too many black people start coming, white people leave. Too many white people start coming, black people. You got a white preacher? Nope, you got a kingdom preacher. I am not a white man. That's where you missed it. And Raquel singing up here was not a black girl singing. She was a kingdom woman. I am a kingdom. Daniel wasn't up here on the bass. Look at that. Is he, what do they call? Hispanic, Mexican? I don't want to offend. Are you hearing what I'm saying? We have scars in this country. We do. But we also fought a war. Because we had people that were still optimistic about this country that said, no, if there's scars, there must be stars. There must be an opportunity. Nope, racism, nope, nope, slavery, nope. We're going to get that out of here. I'm not saying we're completely healed from it either. All I'm saying is we still have people in this country that would not bow their knee to legalism, to racism, to materialism. We have scars. We have scars. Okay, you want me to? Killing our own babies and explaining it away when it's time to vote. Where are you? Where are you? You can't have that either. I am deep. Me and Marvin are going to start a church next week. But we have people that have stood up, preachers better than me, and politicians, say what you will. But abortion is on a decline now. Check me out. Planned Parenthood places that, go check out where all the Planned Parenthoods are. That's all I'll say. Go check out where they are. I'm not mad at you, but we're deceived. But man, we are on a decline. Why? Because we have people that says yes. They could have given up. Yeah, man, we got scars and we're abortion and we're killing babies and I'm going to go to England. I'm going to go to wherever. No, they said if there's scars, there must be stars. I'm willing to look bad, foolish, racist, bigoted. I'm willing to look that way if it means saving a baby. If there's scars, there must be stars. Page 4. So how do we heal from the scars? You ready for me to land this plane? Some of y'all are so nervous. Don't get nervous. I ain't nervous. And I'm up here. I'm the one that should be. I'm not nervous. Let me tell you something. I've found that people are so fed up with tell me what I want to hear and tickle my ears. And if you say what I think I'll go. But if you don't tell me what I want to know, I'll go down to the next church. You know, I have found people are starving for truth. Listen, not knee jerk. Gotcha. Not that. But the truth in love. I have found that people are so hungry. Tell me the truth. Stop telling me one thing on the stage and saying something different in private. Tell me the truth. That's what I want. I just pastor this church the way that I would want somebody to pastor me and preach to me. I want to hear truth. I don't want to hear all the right words and ecclesiastical prayers and cute poems and stories and all. No, I want the truth. The truth is the only thing that's going to set us free. 3 things very quickly. This is how we heal from our scars. And it's warm in here to me. Maybe I'm just preaching, but maybe I'm just on fire. I'm playing. Number one, beware. Beware. If you're going through hurt, if you're going through pain, beware. Beware of what? Beware of who's causing it. Why do bad things happen to good people? I don't know. I think the question we should be asking is why do good things happen to bad people? And why not bad things happen to good people? Bad things happen to Jesus. Beware that the enemy comes to steal, kill, and destroy. Jesus don't do it. Beware of who your real enemy is. Beware not just spiritually either. You better be careful when you believe something just because somebody said it. And that goes for the media, that goes for social media, it goes for networks, that goes for your conversation about that other person. You heard one side. Beware of who your real enemy is. I heard a true story about a rancher up in North Dakota back in the late 1800s, and his wife passed with scarlet fever. Right before she passed, they had a newborn baby, and they had nobody to take care of the baby. And this rancher, old sleigh dog, walks up to his cabin and just kind of hung out for a while. Finally, he took him in. He started feeding him. He started petting him. And he took the sleigh dog in. And come time, he ran out of money. He had to go, and he had to go out and travel and make money and hunt and do different things and to provide for his family. But he had nobody to take care of his baby. And the story is told that every time he'd go to town, people be asking about that sleigh dog. You know, better be careful. That sleigh dog, yeah, it's good right now, but one day you're going to be gone, and that sleigh dog's going to get a hold of that baby. You better be careful. And we put it in his ears, put it in his mind. That sleigh dog is going to. And one day he walks up to his cabin. He sees blood on the door. And the door's already open a little bit. He begins to crack it open a little more, open it. And that sleigh dog comes up to him with blood all over him. Blood leading all the way to the baby's crib. And he's thinking the worst. This sleigh dog. He turns around and takes his gun and shoots the sleigh dog. About that time, he sees a shadow of something under the bed. And right there at the crib, underneath his bed, was a mean, ugly-looking mountain lion. And really, that sleigh dog was saving that baby from the real enemy. And he shot what he thought the enemy was. Man, we look like fools. When we start believing one side, we start believing this or believing that, and we turn on each other. I've said this many times, but if you can see them, they're not your real enemy. Stop shooting the sleigh dogs, because there might be mountain lions you need to save those bullets for. Beware. Number 2, quit picking at the scab. If it's a cut, if it's a hurt, what is a scar? A scar was once a cut that became a scab and refused to remain a scab, but over time it healed and became a scar. But if you keep picking at it, how many's ever had a scab? It starts itching, it starts irritating you a little bit, and you just keep picking at it. Turn to somebody and say, quit picking, chicken. It's the only time I'll give you permission to quit. Quit picking at what God is trying to heal. I want to say it like this. I was on a run yesterday, and I heard the Lord say, some people need to quit picking and start pouring. What is the stuff that whenever you have an infection, the stuff in a peroxide? So some of you need to get you out the spiritual peroxide. Get out the gospel. Speak words of love. Affirmation to people, not what they are, who they are, because they may be fulfilling your destiny. The words, the prophetic words you spoke over them, but speak to where they could be. Bring a healing to that person. Quit picking at that person that hurt you and start pouring into relationships. Quit picking at the church, nitpicking. We got this, and as if you are so wise. We already saw that 3 years ago. We're doing the best we can. Quit picking and start pouring into this church. It might be we would have more staff if you'd give more. Pour in love, pour in hope, pour in your time in serving. Quit picking. Beware. Quit picking. Number 3, and move forward. Move forward. Move forward in victory. Sometimes you have to move forward by faith. Move forward in grace. Move forward in healing. Sometimes you have to grow there if you want to go there. You know, a scar, my scar when I was, my mom will probably correct me later, but I think I wasn't even 2 years old when I had the stomach blockage. I had stomach surgery. It was over half my stomach. Now it's like, why does the scar look smaller? Because I grew. Same injury, same cut, same wound. I just chose to outgrow it. And there's no quick fix to this. Sometimes it takes time. It takes confessing. I am the lender, not the borrower, even when you are trying to figure out how you're going to pay the bills. My marriage is blessed. My marriage is successful and healthy and strong, even when you're contemplating divorce. Sometimes you have to outgrow it. You have to move forward by faith. Remember I told you what Dodie Osteen, Joel Osteen's mom that went to be with Jesus last year, she was only given a few weeks to live in 1980, I believe, 81, 82. Well, she just died, y'all, last year. And Joel told the story about him and Paul and the kids getting together and saying, Mama, you at least need a walker. I mean, most people have handicap stickers that don't even need one anyway. That's another story. And she refused to even get a walker. And you remember me telling you, she said, guys, healed people don't act sick. And the word tells me I'm healed. So sometimes you have to move by faith. You have to refuse to be a prisoner to that person that did that wrong to you. I know what I'm preaching right now. I'm there with you. People have done. I will not become a prisoner to that person. I'm going to love that person, forgive that person, maybe even send them an offering. And guess what? The chains break. And I am not a prisoner. I refuse to stay and wallow in my hurt. But I know there's a purpose for my pain. And I know God can turn those scars into stars if I'll let him. Stand on your feet all over this room. Please, nobody leaving, nobody moving around. A little lower. Ronald Reagan had a speechwriter that told a story. There was a war going on in the early 80s. I forgot which one it was. It could have been a few of them, but they were, I think it was Beirut. I don't know if that was the same timing or what. Cecil would know. You were there. Kennedy, Ford, Lincoln, Washington. They were getting raided. And you know how the media will go and put their life on the line and video and everything and capture the pictures and video and all that. The story is told, he's in the back seat, the speechwriter for Reagan, and he's documenting all this. And big 5-star general gets in the passenger seat, and there's a private right outside the car there on the driver's side with the door open. True story. He said, "Get in, private, drive, or we're going to all die." And he said, "Sir, I'm wounded." He said, "Son, we're all wounded. You can't stay here. We're going to die. Get in the car, look forward, and drive." And I want to say, number one, you're not the only one. I don't mean that ugly, but we're all wounded. All we can do is get in the car, the vehicle, transportation, the will of God. It's the wheels you should be on. Are you hearing me? Don't get in the wheels of the past, of hurt, of feeling sorry for yourself, but get in the right wheels. Get in the will of God. Look forward and drive. And if you have a scar in here, it means you had a hurt, means you had a wound, you had a cut, but God has healed you from it. You are here. You're at a church at 1219 on 4th of July weekend. Nobody goes to church on 4th of July weekend. And I'm asking you respectfully, I'm not acting like I'm heartless here. I know there's issues way bigger. It would blow my mind. But I can confidently say no matter what issue you brought to me, I would say, number one, beware where that pain comes from. Don't blame it on God. Don't blame it on a person. You blame it on the pits of hell. Number one, I'm going to tell you to beware. Number two, I'm going to say quit picking. Quit picking at it. Quit picking at what God's trying to bring healing to. And number three, I would say you got to move forward. You can't drive forward looking in a rearview mirror. I'm not saying the pain ain't real. I'm not saying there's not hurt there. I'm just saying there's a reason why the rearview mirror is so small and you have a great big windshield there. You can glance at it. Is my makeup good today? No boogers? Sorry. But you just glance at the rearview mirror. You're not supposed to stay stuck there. Ain't nothing behind you that can get to you. Did you hear what I said? Your past is your past because it's past. It's past tense. And if you have a hurt, if you have a pain of any type, I want to make this whole room. We put in more chairs so we don't have much room for altar space. So we're just going to make this room our altar for the next 2 or 3 minutes. I want the worship team to lead us. And I want you to lift those hands to heaven and say, God, I trust you. I know that it didn't come from you. I'm going to be aware that it did not come from you. God, help me to quit picking at it. Keep thinking about it. Keep pondering on it. I know that you're trying to heal. You're trying to cause that scab to heal, to become a scar that you can use as a star. If I went through it, I must have went through it for a purpose, for a reason. And I want you to learn 3 words this morning. I want you to get them in you. I get them in me all the time. These 3 words, this is my mission statement when I'm going through a tough time. I'm going to make hell pay. If I couldn't stop it, I can make hell wish they had never messed with Richie Mullis. Are you hearing what I'm saying? And I'm going to quit picking at it, and I'm going to move forward. Come on, hands up all over this room. Let's begin to sing. Come on, right now.